week they have FlyQuest, and then they have Cloud9. So that is a tough weekend. When in my kind of like projected playoff standings, you probably have to only lose one more game for the rest of this play. So you got to go 4-1. Very likely for them to get to 99. That's likely what they would need to get in the playoffs. So that means they need to at least beat one of those teams in the scenario that I'm kind of talking about.
Damn. Well, we're going to be headed over, I think, either to the stage or... I don't know how to break the bad news on that one. It's tough news to hear. But before we go, a reminder that Fantasy LCS is happening over on Sleeper. So make sure you lock in your picks and bans for next week's games if you want to top your league. But with that, we're going to be joining Raz and Wild Turtle for our Verizon post-game interview. Take it away.
What's up, everybody, and a big welcome back to Wild Turtle.
Thank you. It's been a while. Hello.
Honestly, I mean, when you debuted in the LCS, it was in the white and black, and then you're back. Like, just talk to me about just being back on TSM and how that's been feeling for you.
It feels pretty positive. This is definitely an org I used to enjoy playing for, and you know, we're running it back, and hopefully it ends in a good year.
Hell yeah. Also, just more so, I guess, about the process, because you're working in the NACL, and then you come in being brought up during a playoff race with TSM. So tell me about just like the process coming back into the LCS team, working with Chime, and just like the team as a whole throughout this week.
I mean, the NACL process has been amazing for me. I love playing with Svenskeren and Hanser, and then we have like 2 new rookies on the team too, who I also enjoy playing with. So it's been a great pleasure playing with those guys. And then moving up to LCS, I feel like I was ready because of these guys, like my NACL partners, you know.
Yeah, and I guess a little bit more about you, because I saw a message that you sent, I think it was with Mitch Jersey, but just in general, like a lot of the positive sentiment of you coming back into the game. It's like, give me a message for the fans out there that we're damn excited to see you back on stage again.
I mean, it feels really great to me that, you know, a lot of fans still want to see me perform and, you know, be the Wild Turtle they all remember. So thank you guys for supporting me the entire time, and it's been great.
There we go, there we have it. Thanks, guys. Especially the Wild Turtle sign we saw over there.
It was great. It is great. I'm sorry.
There it is. No problem. Hope to see you more with success like this. Thanks a lot, Wild Turtle. Appreciate you.
Are made of the same
and now we have IMT versus Golden Guardians next, guys, right after the break. Thank you.
We have to tell everyone that we just switched to Verizon to Welcome Unlimited for just $30.
Did you just say Verizon for just $30?
It's their best unlimited price ever.
$30? It's awesome.
Yeah, and it's from the most reliable 5G network in America.
For $30 a line, I'm switching now.
Yeah, it's easy. And you get $960 when you switch the whole family.
Wow, I gotta let my buddies know.
Yeah, right here.
The network you want, the price you love, only from Verizon.
Never burn for the benefit of dust. Energy never dies.
Hello and welcome to another MasterCard Player of the Week interview. I'm joined by Golden Guardians River. So first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
This was actually really close between you and Gory. So just generally, you guys seem to have really good mid-jungle synergy. What has communication been like between you and Gory since he came to the team?
Gory is really good. We always win 1v1. Team, then we win 2v2.
He, when I asked him about how he was, when he was asked about getting all the solo kills, he just said it was luck. How many times does Gory kind of call for you to come to his lane, or is that you deciding when to go?
Usually I fight, but always in mid, Gory is good trade, so I can play easy. Yeah.
Okay. How does he compare to other mid laners you've played with, like Maple, for example?
Yeah. Maple is really good too, but Gory and Maple is different style. So, yeah, Maple, when I played with Maple, Maple helped me, but now I help Gory. Yeah.
Nice. I've heard you, Gory, and Fuhi are kind of responsible for Golden Guardian's early game. One thing that I think is really great about you as a jungler is you always seem to know where to go, like wherever on the map. So again, is the team calling for that, or are you just leading the team early?
I think our mid and bot always good trade and yeah, just team gap. Yeah.
So right now, do you think that's just junglers' jobs? Like, okay, whose lane is winning?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be there.
Yeah.
Speaking of, how strong do you think the role of jungle is right now?
Jungle is really weak, dispatch. So, both game.
Okay. What has to happen for junglers to become strong again?
Buff other strong champions, jungle champions. Please, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember when you were on PSG, you would play like Nidalee, Udyr, Hecarim.
Yeah.
I remember the Talon at Worlds.
Yeah.
You've been getting a lot of praise, not just from us on the analyst desk, but from around the community. How would you rate your performance thus far, and what are your goals for this split?
You did really good job. So maybe MVP.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, you guys heard it here first. MVP River. People have already been talking about it. Thank you so much for doing it. And that'll do it for another MasterCard Player.
Welcome back to the LCS Lounge. Thank you, River. We're going to be seeing him go up against Immortals in a second. And quickly, we interviewed Lulu after the game, but Tactical had like a pop-off game. It was really nice to see.
Yeah, he had some big plays. Of course, you know, there were it was a back-and-forth game. There were obviously things that everyone made mistakes on, but he had, I think, the game-winning plays both with his pullback on his feathers, I thought he was first there, as well as ending the game. He was very aggressive jumping forward and getting a kill on kind of a kill wall.
1,030 times.
This is a good game.
That's kind of bonkers.
He pops off every once in a while. He's going to be going up against Stixay, who, even though their win streak is over, was a player of the week a week and a half ago. Yeah. Anyway, he's been popping off all year. You can see a huge resurgence.
It's been insane to see. I know you guys have mentioned it multiple times about like the fact that he started his career on a huge like high.
Yeah.
And then of course the dip happened, went to coaching, all of that. That story has been really intriguing just because it really goes to show how someone just doesn't lose it. Like he was able to get it back in the right environment, in a change in mindset, and he was able to, in a few interviews, reflect on the process to getting there, losing that confidence when he was on the back half of CLG, and then regaining it.
And he seems to work really, really well with Suki. I talked about how frequently Suki roams compared to other supports. I think he holds himself well in lane, so they've been doing well he's been doing well when Suki has left him down there. Yeah. And then additionally, they've just been setting up so well for him in team fights, and he's been delivering there too.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how this team has come together because it felt initially to me in the offseason like a little hodgepodgey where you're like, okay, you get Huhi back, sure, but like, okay, Gory and River, that makes some sense, but they actually work very well together, that three-man core, and then 6A has been so reliable and actually quite good in the early lane phase as well to kind of unlock those roams from Huhi, because if you're just getting stomped and like pushed in the entire time, then Huhi can't be going in to help out the other people's map. So it's like this kind of push and pull where he's talking about how he's like, sometimes I don't know what they're saying, that three-man core, they're just making plays happen, but as long as he's able to work with Huhi and then let Huhi do what he wants, it works.
And one thing I like so much about him right now is the passion. You alluded to it a little bit, Raz, as starting hot. I think if he would have stayed in the LCS the entire time, he wouldn't have reached this level. I really do feel like when he went to coach and had to be convinced back into playing, it gave him enough time off to almost change careers, to reignite the fire and appreciate being a pro player. I even remember when he first came back, how grateful he was to be back on stage. And I think he's allowed himself to love League again, and it's helped a lot with his stuff.
Yeah, it was really, really interesting hearing that from him in the interview, and also just knowing how far he's gone, right? This is an MSI finals. Yeah. That's kind of nuts, and I was glad that he was able to look back on that part of his career after other people come back, and now he's performing great.
All right, Golden Guardian versus IMT. Rothman is take it away.
Boom! Boom. I don't know why. I feel this sudden need to just keep firing.
Upside down one?
Give me a second! This is gonna take a while. You might have to slow cast for a while.
That's fine. My time has come.
Oh, God.
Golden Guardians versus Immortals. We'll see if
wow, the blood's rushing to my head down here.
Don't die. All right, well, I respect the commitment to the bit. He's back.
I'm back. I'm not dead.
Yeah, 6A has been having a really, really good season. And it's been so fun to see, right? Because there's always so much discussion, I think, particularly in League, and some esports as well, very esports as well. But particularly in League, there's always, I think, this mindset of once you hit a certain age, you can no longer reach these high levels. And I think that's something that's really, really a common misconception. To me, the only thing that is true about it is often that players who have been grinding at it for a really long time can lose motivation. Sure. But if you can stay disciplined and you can stay at that same level, players can have long, successful careers. We've seen people reach the peaks of their career in their 30s and stuff. And having sports careers, having these legends who are in their 40s even, playing at the highest level of physical sports. So there's absolutely no reason that we can't have that in esports as well. But I do think esports still has some growing to do, and that's one of the things that I think there needs to be some kind of reevaluating and monitoring done in our scene about that. Because 6A is a perfect example of this, right? Like, this is a guy who came in 2016. Everyone's like, this guy is the new hotness, right? He's going to be the next Doublelift. He's going to be better than Doublelift, right? And, he hits these really, really high highs. He wins the championship, goes to MSI finals. And then, he's fine for a while in LCS. He starts kind of falling off a bit. He's down to Academy. He becomes a coach. All right, career's over. But he's back into Academy, works his way back up. He's in the LCS. I think he's playing as well as he ever has in the LCS now. And this is 8 years into his career, right? From 2016 to now, this is a long time to kind of hit those same high highs again. It just shows that players still can improve, and the environment in which you're in matters so much to kind of really have that level of success.
Yeah, and not just environment, but also sometimes just chance of like what variables come into play. I mean, I don't remember if I was discussing with you or with Kobe about it, but had Golden Guardians first choice for their Academy bot lane in spring 2022 Island didn't have decent issues and was there from the get-go, we would have never seen Stixxay asked to go off the positional coaching role and step into play. And then I think from there, that is where Stixxay was like, oh, wait, I'm still pretty good at this game. Golden Guardians also realized it too, and they're like, you know what? You're getting promoted to the LCS. And then this is where now we see him at the stretch of that kind of U-shaped curve that Mark Z was also talking about as well. It's like, okay, we started up here, then there's a big valley, but now he's back at least one of the best bot laners we've seen in the...
Yeah, and he's performing incredibly well. Really heavy hitters here. A lot of really strong contestants for him there, including Huhi's former bot lane member, FBI. So Stixxay has been performing really, really well. Has been a lot of fun to see. Mortals on the other side, did get a win under their belts. They're able to actually take down Dig, so broke their very big kind of losing streak that they were actually on. They picked up a couple wins pretty early on and then have been on quite a slide. So we'll see if they can perform a little bit better here today. They definitely want to get back towards those winning ways. See if the addition of Bolulu can, bring consistent success here. Zoe is going to be banned out. That is kind of his signature champion. We saw him play it yesterday. It was really, really impactful. That I feel like they really had no business winning, from the game state that they got themselves into. But Bolulu was a really big part of that. And, another pick that you had mentioned to me that he's really known for in NACL is Vel'Koz. I would love to see him actually, continue to go away from the meta towards his own personal strength, because people are going to be less comfortable playing against those picks anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you saw in the Garen game earlier today, it's not something that Someday was known for, but as Vulcan said, it's like, well, we started taking notice of the Garen because Crusader was playing it a lot from Wildcard. It's like, okay, well, you know what? Garen is really good into this specific champion. And we know historically that Vel'Koz is usually strong into control mages like Azir, right? Yeah. Now, I don't know if Corey's going to be busting out Azir anytime soon. He's mostly been favoring things like the Yone and the Sylas as of recent, but if that is something that's on the table and Golden Guardians kind of have a lapse of knowledge, it's like, oh yeah, by the way, Bolulu's other really good pick is Vel'Koz himself, and they don't have that preparation. Maybe we'll see it, but I would not be surprised if Bolulu just goes back to something standard like Sylas.
Yeah, it's absolutely possible. He has had, I think, a bit of a different champion pool than what we had been kind of seeing from Blaze Olive. You mentioned the Sylas, the Zoe is his second most played after that. So it is a little bit of that way. Of course, he still does have the Azir in there. He still has some of those other champions. So just fun to see a player actually come in and bring confidence and bring their style. And I also like that Immortals, it felt like kind of rallied around him a little bit. Yeah. They were playing heavily through him. We saw that Kemby was over towards mid lane quite a lot playing with Bolulu, trying to look for those early kills even through mid lane, trying to find opportunities to really enable him and to have him feeling confident on the stage. It's such a big part of having success. When you're put into this new situation, you're thrown onto a new team, you haven't had a lot of time to scrim with them, you've got to keep that confidence.
Yeah, and it was one of the things that Bolulu mentioned, I think it was in an interview yesterday, where he talked about he loves playing with carry junglers, which is why he works so well with Chad, who is the Immortals Challengers jungler, who's also very much a carry player, very well known for his Rengar.
Tell me how Kemby got famous. What kind of champions did he play?
Carry jungler.
Oh!
I mean, it's a good fit right here. And, one of the things that we thought in the past that maybe would work is if Kenvi had a mid laner that was willing to give up resources so that he could enable Kenvi in aggressive invades. Obviously, the first round robin of the spring split, not many carry junglers that you can really get onto other than the Kindred or the Elise, right?
Yep.
But Kenvi has mostly been stuck on Sejuani, Vi duty, Maokai duty for the most part. But if it enables the team, then he's willing to make those aggressive moves for the sake of his mid lane here.
And, I mean, surprise, surprise, 2 out of their 3 wins. One game on Kindred, won that. One game on Graves, won that, right? Their only other win was yesterday. It was on his bye, right? But it wasn't a game that was as much about him. So I do think that's, again, another example of Immortals when they are playing towards their individual preferences and strengths, their individual comfort, they look a lot better. Because, let's be honest, they've just been worse than the competition at bringing that, right? So if that is not working for you, you need to find a way to stop imitating the teams above you in the standings and start innovating and playing in your own unique style.
What TSM did, I mean, Solo wasn't playing, K'Sante and Fiora every single game. He was playing things before everyone else on him. So it's something that we always encourage, especially of teams that are lower in the standings as well. It's like, don't feel the need to play what everyone else is playing. Just play your own style and try to improve on that.
And I mean, I think it is really important to play the meta, but, you know, if you have your own flavor, if you're a master of specific champions that are less popular, you can still not always pick them every game, but you can find windows, you can find areas where they can be really successful. Or you can, at the very least, maybe draw some bans or make your opponent kind of nervous about them. So I still think there's always that value in being able to have these picks. Licorice going right back to Renekton. They've been playing Renekton Sejuani a lot. It's the most played for River and Licorice. Licorice largely, I don't think has been that lane dominant on the Renekton, though, I will say. You know, he's been more doing things like the Shack Show Renekton and these kind of more tanky styles where he seems to just get prio in lane, and then it's more playing for the team fight.
All right, if you're hoping for a Volcom, I don't think we're going to see it because you do have to blind it, and Gory has to easily counter it. Now, one of the times I did remember seeing him play Volcom, he picked it willingly into Nakali, and we're like, why did you do that? It's good for lane. Was it good for the team fight? No, it was trash, but you know. But he's going to go with the Ahri. This has been something that has been popping up a lot more ever since those buffs.
Yeah, he does have one game played on it. You know, this split in NACL did win on it. Not a lot of games. He's actually one game in his career. So, you know, not even just the one game this split, which he does have. That's the only game that can play Ahri in his career. So yeah, as you say, it is getting a lot more popular. Gory, though, going to be going for an aggressive pick here. He's solo AP on the LeBlanc, so Revenge, I think, is going to have a pretty easy time with his itemization. Potentially Kenby could actually get some armor in there as well. Yeah. That's something that they're going to have to potentially worry about a little bit. But we'll have to see how he's going to be able to handle this pressure, because when you have something like